Creation and communication.
All right. And paragraph,
And we are on paragraph 3.
paragraph 3. All right, very good. We're all ready then. So I'm going to turn the mic over to you to pray us in.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Lynn. And I'm going to pray us in. I am here only to be truly helpful. I am here to represent Him who sent me. I do not have to worry about what to say or what to do, because He who sent me will direct me. I am content to be wherever He wishes, knowing He goes there with me. I will be healed as I let Him teach me to heal. Amen.
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 All right. So thank you, Iris. Yeah. I think I'm going to be going with my family to the Chili and Frijoles Festival this afternoon. So I'm excited about that. This is the time of year when the new chilies are in and the new beans. So if you don't know beans about beans, this time of year when they harvest the fresh pintos, they are the best. So we'll be doing that, going down and eating beans and chilies. So, all right. So we are, as Iris has told us, in chapter 4, section 7, creation and communication, and paragraph 3. So, who would like to read paragraph 3 for us?
I would.
Thank you.
In contrast to what? Okay. In contrast, spirit reacts in the same way to everything it knows is true and does not respond at all to anything else. Nor does it make any attempt to establish what is true. It knows that what is true is everything that God created. It is in complete and direct communication with every aspect of creation because it is in complete and direct communication with its creator. How's that for oneness? This communication is the will of God. Creation and communication are synonymous. God created every mind by communicating his mind to it, thus establishing it forever as a channel for the reception of his mind and will, divine conduits. Since only be since only beings of a like order can truly communicate, his creations naturally communicate with him and like him. There's the oneness again. The communication is perfectly abstract, but its quality is universal in application and not subject to any judgment, any exception, or any alteration. God created you by this and for this. The mind can distort its function, but it cannot endow itself with functions it was not given. That is why the mind cannot totally lose the ability to communicate, even though it may refuse to utilize it on behalf of being. Well, the mind can't possibly know what being is. Mind is just a collection of thoughts and feelings and ideas and data and information that just keeps repeating itself mechanically and referencing itself mechanically.
Yeah, so that pretty well sums it up. A thing that can't possibly know uh, uh, God thinks it knows everything. So, but the truth is, what is real in us, the truth and reality of us, has never left God and is always communicating with God. And that is such a wonderful thing to know, because that lets us off the hook. We can actually just look at things and love them because we know it's God. Iris, yes, please go ahead.
Thank you, Lynn. Thank you, Rafi. I really kind of get, like, not the words, but just the feel of this whole paragraph is so nice. It's just so peaceful. Like it is saying exactly like that uh everything like in this paragraph. I'll just read it quickly one more time. So it says, in contrast, spirit reacts in the same way to everything it knows is true and does not respond at all to anything else, nor does it make any attempt to establish what is true. It knows that what is true is everything that God created. It is in complete and direct communication with every aspect of creation because it is in complete and direct communication with its creator. This communication is the will of God. Creation and communication are synonymous. God created every mind by communicating his mind to it, thus establishing it forever as a channel for the reception of his mind and will. Since only beings of like order can truly communicate, his creations naturally communicate with him and like him. This communication is perfectly abstract, since its quality is universal in application and not subject to any judgment, any exception, or any alteration. God created you by this and for this. The mind can distort its function, but it cannot endow itself with functions it was not given. This is why the mind cannot totally lose the ability to communicate, even though it may refuse to utilize it on behalf of being. So true. Like, I mean, it's kind of like saying that it reminds me of that lesson, God's will. No, not God's will for me is perfect happiness, but God's voice speaks to me all through the day. And it's true because like but it's just that we haven't really been taught in that way to listen. And like but like it's true because the mind, the small mind, will go on and on about different things, and it'll just be like one story after another, like. And like sometimes when we just stop and we notice, like it is quiet in there. It is very quiet. And it's always quiet, even if the mind is speaking. And I realized that little by little this week, like that sometimes when the mind keeps talking and it's just like there is something else that is aware of the talking, and that is also a good place to look for decisions. Like if there's something that place really actually knows, and if there's a decision or something, like if we want to then, like most of the time we've been taught to look at the mind, like to look at the mind, and then we can like look at the pros, look at the cons, like listen to all the stuff it has to say. But we've not actually been taught to like just go beyond the mind. And how do we actually feel? How do we actually like and it's really nice like when I remember to do that. And the other point is that like this week I found myself when I go to sleep, for example, uh it's really quite relaxing because like it's just this feeling that I'm actually not this person, this mind chatter, this feelings, these like just I'm not Iris. And when I rest, it's so nice, like just to relax in that place. Like it doesn't matter how noisy the mind is, you know, like just relax in that place. And like and even like when we sit sometimes, like when this week I noticed like when you sit just quietly, there's a place that is very like quiet, but that is aware of the I feeling. Like there's another place there. And we've not been taught to look at that. Like we've been kind of like hypnotized to look at like Iris as I this is Iris, like this is Iris's like life. And it's a bit like a cage, like but that other place is free. And and that is like the place of communication where we can communicate with everything and we don't even need to have words, and we can even speak to like birds, for example, or it's all the same in that place. Um so I think that is the benefit of having like uh these experiences that we have sometimes, like that are very challenging. It's like that is definitely a good benefit of that. And I'll hand back to Lynn.
All right, thank you so much for that. Lynn stepped away for a second, so she asked us to continue. I'll say a couple of words about that. I put up in the chat a little bit earlier as you were speaking, all distortions that you were talking about are clever algorithms the ego uses to make itself the authority, such as I am not responsible, blame others. And it makes this very clear by always speaking first and speaking loudest so that you hear it as the authority. Authorities always speak first, you know what I mean? And it brings up like on my homily tomorrow on Sunday at Awakening Together, I'm going to be talking about the tipping point of Course in Miracles lessons. And as I see it, the most often used lesson in the course is used 23 times, and in the last and the what he calls any one of these 20 lessons is the entire course. Each of one of those 20 lessons has the same message twice. I am not a body. I am free. I am still as God created me. So I'm kind of winding up saying that I am not this body. I am definitely free. There is no death because death is only of the body. I am so grateful that I'm not a body and there is no death. You really got to laugh at the things that we're afraid of in this world. I mean, you know, if I'm a body, I got to really, you know, be careful because I can get hurt. You know, forget death. I could lose a limb. I could I could lose my mind. I gotta protect things. I gotta defend. I gotta hold on to things. So we go to Rafi's and tell him, let it go, let it go. You gotta laugh, you gotta laugh. That's my share complete. Does anyone have any thoughts on any of this? I don't know, Len. Len, are you back or no?
I am back,
Okay.
and thank you. And thank you guys. And Rafi has his hand up, so yes.
Very good.
Okay, Joe kind of said it all about. It just reminded me of that thing who said, "Oh, I'm whole, complete, free, peace, infinite divine love, unlimited." Oh yeah, but you think you're a person that was born, going to live a while, and going to die. That is so cute. And then when that happens, I just laugh my head off. So thanks.
Very nice. Thanks, Raf.
There we go. Exactly. Yeah. I'll listen again on the recording later to see what I missed. But I was going to say that when Jesus is talking about communication, if you have ever looked at or studied any kind of architecture, um, architectural drawings, doorways communicate into hallways, which communicate into stairways, which communicate into other doors into rooms, and communication is an open flow of um, air, of water. If you're building a, irrigation system, the water communicates into the trenches that you dig, or into the pipes that you build, or through the valves that you make. And we are the ones who can cut off the communication by closing the door, shutting the valve, somehow or the other stopping the flow. But the communication, and the body, Jesus tells us the body is, the only use of the body is a communication device. So yeah, uh, we're communicating God's love, communicating God to his creation through his creation. So communication and creation are the same thing. Um, this is why, we have a big deal going on in the world today about freedom of speech. And is hate speech free? And what should be communicated? And the fact is, there should be no stop to any kind of communication, because communication is the way that we express. And unless everyone is expressing wholly as they truly are, then there is a block in communication, and that's what causes. I mean, look at your system. If your lymphatic system doesn't communicate clearly and completely, it can stop things up and cause disease. You can get, cancer or other things. Things are not communicating through the body well. They get stopped up, and you have uh, pain or illness that comes about because of lack of communication. So communication, the flow of God's love through everything, is the thing that makes everything work. Rafi, yes, please go ahead.
Yeah, in regard to the body being used as a venue of communication, other things, a telephone is the same way. What do you use it for? To communicate. And when you finish communicating, you shut it off and you set it down, or you put it in your pocket and it just sits there until you're ready to use it again. Well, that's kind of symbolic of how the body works. You use it as a communication device. And when you finish using it as a community, you can shut it off, or you can let it sit there and do whatever it's going to do or not do until you need it again to communicate. And it doesn't have any more life than that. Your toes don't wiggle unless you wiggle them. Your mind, your eyes don't blink, or you don't wink at somebody. The body doesn't wink by itself. You do the winking, and you use the body to do that. And the more I get in touch with all of that, the less I identify with it. And the less I identify with it, the more I automatically identify with the truth. And so it's this communication device that is just really is just a projected mental image is here to serve just like everything else is. So use it for that. And when you finish, you just set it aside and let it do what it's going to do. What's it got to do with anything else? Nothing. Thank you.
Yeah, and when we use it as it's meant to be used, or what it's, I mean, obviously, God did not have a use for the body until we made the body. You know, God did not have a use for the world until we made the world. But God uses everything that we made, just like those, who was it Bruce who was saying that the purpose of a refrigerator is so that you can put your children's pictures on it. You know, that's that could be the perfect purpose for it. Yeah, I love this. All right. Who would like to read paragraph 4? Unless someone else has something on 3. Who would like to read paragraph 4?
I will.
Thank you.
Existence as well as being rests on communication. Existence, however, is specific in how, what, and with whom communication is judged to be worth undertaking. Oh my God. Oh, that's a that's really a tough sentence. Being is completely without these distinctions. Oh, okay. Now I'm back to understanding. Okay. In being, you're completely free. Existence is the body who doesn't talk to all bodies, especially if they don't agree with me. It's a state in which the mind is in communication with everything that is real. Being is all there is. Just simply be. It's the same thing as isness. Being, isness, identical, the same. They're not even identical, they are the same. It's a state in which the mind is in communication with everything that's real to whatever extent you permit the state to be. To whatever extent you permit the state to be curtailed, you are limiting your sense of your own reality, which becomes total only, keyword is only, by recognizing all reality in the glorious context of its real relationship to you. Boy, who wrote that sentence? What a run-on sentence that is. This is your reality. At least he reduced it to 4 words. This is your reality. Do not desecrate it or recoil from it. It's your real home, your real temple, and your real self. What can I say about it? He said it all already. Just be. Simply be. That's it.
Thank you, Dove. I'm laughing now. Sharon, yes, please go ahead.
What I've come to see is any thought is division, and any thought is basically an attack. Because Eckhart Tolle had said when you look at a body, if you don't see them in their true form, which is formless, it's an attack on them. Whether or not that's true, because everything has a thought. I mean, if I say I don't know what anything is for, that's pretty much not that's not an interpretation. So I'm watching my mind to see what it wants to think about. You know, that's all. I just want to say I love everybody sharing.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Um, so the body itself, there's nothing wrong. with the body, and we can make it holy. Everything is holy now. That's what today's lesson is all about. Everything is holy now. Rafi, yes, please go ahead.
Yeah, I love Dove's emphasis on just be, because the easiest thing in the universe is to just be to the truth of our being. The most difficult thing in the universe is to, according to ego, is to just be. Because it says, be what? Well, be this, be that, but don't be this, don't be that. Get that, don't get that. And there's all the mind activity that obscures, if only temporarily, the truth of our infinite beingness. And when we get to the point where we can just watch it and not get caught up in it and not identify with it, then just being, the simplicity and the reality and the power of just being is available because it's always there, no good way. God's never indifferent. I mean, it doesn't blink. Uh, and so I that's kind of how I, not kind of, but that's what I focus on a great deal. And the other stuff is anything that does come up that tries to obscure being. I go to see, okay, what's the feeling here? What am I afraid of? Afraid, okay, bring up the feeling and allow it to go. What do you want? You want to control. What do you want? Approval. Well, when you don't want approval, you want love, you want love, you want love. Because if you don't get it, you think you're going to die because you think you're a person. Blah, 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 blah. It's got nothing to do with being. Being that as soon as we get to being, there's the quiet that we truly are. And then all of that other noise just drifts off into wherever it drifts off into because it's only an illusion in the first place. Thank you.
Thank you. You got to laugh.
Absolutely. Thank you, Rafi. Yes, Mickey.
I love how every time Raffi starts talking as if he's the ego, he'll say this and this and this and this, and then he'll go into bup, up, 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 up every time because all the ego does is babble. It doesn't matter what it's saying. In the end, Raffi's right. All it's doing is going bup, up, 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 up. It's just a bunch of BS. And if I could just have Raffi's head in my voice in my head whenever the ego starts talking to me and interrupt the ego and have it say bup up 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 up, I'd be much better off. Thanks.
Well, you can get that $9.95 a month. I'll I'll implant that in your brain.
You're hysterical.
Dove, thank you, Mickey. Dove, please go ahead.
I just want to say to Mickey, you can have that anytime you want, but just watching your thoughts. I mean, I mean the but is always there. Every authoritarian has to speak first and loudest. These are my rules. So you're listening, you're smiling, and say, really? You gotta laugh.
Absolutely. You just simply have to laugh. So uh, it's all by my permission, which I love that Jesus says is whatever extent your permission, you permit the state to be curtailed, you're limiting your sense of your own reality. So it's not even willing, it's just permission. I don't even I don't have to do anything. I just have to give permission to my mind to just be free. And I think about people like well, I know Teddy when he was on the in his last days with ALS and who had been such a formidable character that had so much force and bluster in the way that he operated, but in the days as he was winding down through the experience of the body, of ALS, that the being that he always was, the gentle soul that was his heart, it became just so much purer, clearer. Um, he was more adorable even then, and he's more adorable even now to me, even though he's passed from this plane. I hope to hell, if there's such a thing as remaining in the personality after you leave the body in the world. I don't believe that that's true. I don't think you keep your personality, and I don't think there's people on the other side that are doing anything. But if it were, I would hope that Teddy's watching me right now, because he's in my mind. Rafi, yes, please go ahead.
Every moment is an opportunity to work ourselves towards spiritual awakening. Here's a perfect example of it. Yesterday, I'm watching a baseball game. A guy swings at a pitch that is way high and out of the strike zone. And I went, "What the hell did you do that for?" And then I realized that's wanting control. I wanted it to be different. So I brought it up and let it go, and my mind got quiet. And the same thing when another guy hit into a double play. I went, that was wanting control again. Okay, I let it go. Something else happened, and I'm wanting approval. And it was, what was I doing? Again, substantially just, being entertained by watching a baseball game. Every moment an opportunity to work towards spiritual awakening. And if I see it that way and I take advantage of it, then I'm using it uh, because it's here to serve, and I'm using it as that it is serving, and realize that. Then I ask myself, okay, well, how can I serve? Just by being. All I got to do is be, and I'm automatically serving. If I'm serving actively, fine. If I'm not, I'm serving passively. But we all are, and everything is all serving. So I would take advantage of it. Then I'm using it for the purpose, that the divine purpose uh, that it's here for, and we're working toward again our spiritual awakening. Thank you.
Thank you, Rafi. Wait, did you want to say something, Dove?
No, I want to say thank you. Yeah, I mean, it always gets back to lesson number one. It doesn't really mean anything. He's pitched high, pitched low, swung high, swung. It doesn't mean anything. It's nothing here means anything, period. Well, just in case you think something means something, why don't you go on to lesson number two? I made it all up.
Exactly. And it is just everything. That's why it doesn't matter what you do here. As long as you stay in that state of mind of this is being shown exactly what I want to see. Exactly, it could be watching baseball, it could be, watching a soap opera, it could be, visiting with your family, it could be anything. It doesn't matter as long as you're looking at it and seeing it as being a situation in which divine communication is being fostered, then it doesn't matter. And yeah, who cares, who's hitting the ball and where? They're boys having fun playing a game. That's all I look I watch football with my husband. He's like, "Oh God, what play that referee?" And I'm like, "Oh man, here's a bunch of kids out here playing a game." And they're having fun playing the game. And they, honestly, it's just, if they were out to hurt each other or something, that'd be one thing. But really, they're just out to catch a ball, throw a ball, catch a ball, hit a ball. Who can hit the ball the furthest, the fastest? Who can catch the ball from the farthest distance? Who can throw the ball the farthest distance? Doesn't matter. It's all about a game, and that's everything. It's all about a game.
Very well,
So,
very well said.
thank you. Rafi, yes, go ahead.
You just reaffirmed. You watch the game, and it serves you your way, the way you need to be served. Your husband watches the game, and it serves him the way he needs to be served. And it's still a game. All of this is just a picture. All of this is the illusion. All of this is projected thought images. Nothing is real. Lester Levinson said, "You don't realize that life is like a play. You wrote the play, you cast it, and everybody in it is you. And then you put yourself, you directed it, and then you put yourself in it and think that you're wandering around in it instead of being the author of it.
Yeah.
And you did that to help you wake up. So where's there any separation? There is no such thing. It's all working toward our ultimate good. Every single moment of it. I just love thank you, Lynn. That was perfect.
You give it all the meaning it has for you. You give it all the meaning. And that's lesson number 2.
Perfect.
Yeah.
You give it meaning.
Back to onesies, twosies. I love it. All right. So let's read paragraph 5. Who would like to read paragraph 5? Because this is some juicy stuff. Anybody want to read paragraph 5?
I'll take it again.
Okay, great. Thank you.
God. That's another word for love. Love encompasses all being, created beings who have everything individually, but who want to share it to increase their joy. Nothing real can be increased except by sharing. That's why the first of the 3 lessons of the Holy Spirit, and he only has 3 lessons, doesn't have 365 lessons. To have, give all to all. That's how you increase whatever it is that you want more of by giving it. In the world of make believe, you increase by taking it. I'm gonna take more authority. I'm the authoritarian. I say what's real, what's good, and what's not good, and my word is the only word. Yes, they call that authoritarianism. That's why God created you. Divine abstraction takes joy in sharing. Yeah, I think that's probably my numero uno asset is sharing. That's what creation means. How, what, and to whom are irrelevant, because real creation gives everything. Yeah, so the more you give, the more you have to give. It's really that simple. Yeah. That's what creation means. How, what, and whom are irrelevant, because real creation gives everything, since it can create only like itself. Remember that in the kingdom, there is no difference between having and being. Being and having, there's no doing in the kingdom. Nobody does anything in the kingdom. You're just being, and in your being, your having is the same thing. Just simply be, and I already have everything. As there is in existence. I mean, you know what existence is? It's a dream. It's a movie. It's a script. None of which means anything other than the meaning that you give to it. In the state of being, the mind gives everything always. Oh my God! I'll just repeat that. In the state of being, mind gives everything always. Wow, that's one of the biggest sentences in the entire course.
Yeah, absolutely. And yes, yeah. In the state of being, the mind gives everything always. And of course, to have, give all to all, absolutely first lesson of the Holy Spirit. Well, I don't even think you need the rest of them once you get that. But we do. So
Yeah.
God is sharing us. That's why God created us, because he wanted to share his love. God created us because he wanted to share his being, his beauty, his joy. And that's the purpose of our life. The purpose of our life is not to be worried about, who's winning the baseball game or the football game. The purpose of our life is to love the game, love the players, love the refs, love the conditions, love every part of it.
I was going to say it takes real discipline to share all with all without making anyone special. Because usually sharing in this world, now it could be because I see it that way, and it probably is, but usually sharing means, oh, you're making me special. No, I didn't say that. I said, I see all equally. What do you mean by equally? Ain't I something different? No. In that little thing is a lot of the misunderstanding of this world.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, there's nothing special about it. Nothing special about it.
Yeah, specialist gets us into problems and troubles and pain and grief and anger. You mean I ain't special? No, I'm sorry, Charlie.
Yeah. So when we ask, where should I go? What should I do? What should I say? And to whom? Those are the questions that uh, Jesus says, well, that's irrelevant. But if you think there's a what and a who and a whom, then, ask. Because, it's going to say, you're going to give love. You're going to say love. You're going to, everybody, everywhere, you're going to be in the sharing of love. Rafi, yes, please go ahead.
Yeah, you want to be special? Oh, you're really special. You're so special that your speciality is how you serve perfectly. And if we're all serving perfectly, then where's the special? We're all equal. There's equilibrium right there. And when I saw that, I thought, oh, that's perfect. And of course it is, because there's only perfection. And then I got to see that no matter how ego tries to rationalize or justify or give explanations for, or give excuses for, or give reasons for, none of that stuff, all of that stuff is just mental gibberish. And if we look at it, back away from it, then we're back to the equilibrium that we all are, and that is the oneness of the power of our oneness of truth. So it keeps coming back to me over and over again, and I go, oh, good, 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 good. And so all of a sudden, things like I wanted approval don't mean anything. Okay, good, then let it go. It's just so simple. Thank you.
Rafi, that's easy for you to say. Try telling that to an ego.
Well, if you try to tell it to an ego, you try to tell it to an illusion. So just love the ego and let it just evaporate.
The world is an illusion. He tells you that. The world is an illusion. There is no world.
That's exactly true.
Yeah, so there's nobody out there. There's nobody out there. When people ask me, and people say to me, oh, Lynn, I've had more than one person say this to me. You need to train us all in what to do because, if something happens to you and you are gone, who's going to run gather? And I'm like, "Ugh, you know what? That's not up to me. And is there going to be a gather if Lynn's not here? Uh, isn't gather Lynn's world? That's
I
you
want
may
you to
think
know.
it's your world, but this is my world. So when
I
I'm
want
gone
you to
from
know.
it, who knows?
That's exactly what was said to me 15 years ago. Exactly that. If you're
Yeah.
gone, what's going to happen to gather?
There are no them. There's no them. Them don't exist. This doesn't exist. There's no this.
There's no this, there is no that, there is no here, there is no there. It sounds like a Dr. Seuss book. But it's true. That is, that's the beauty of all of this is there's nothing real can be threatened and nothing unreal exists. That's the beauty of it all. There is no who, what, when, where. So, what are we fighting for? What are we worrying about? What are we afraid of? Uh, Step out of that fearful world and recognize that there's nothing here. Dove, please go ahead.
I want to say there is no place called gather. Gather is in the mind. Gather is we are one and the same. That's gather. It's in the mind. It has nothing to do with a place.
Exactly. Exactly. And I mean, do you think I had any choice in any of this? That I was like, oh, I think, I'm gonna uh retire and, start, spending my days listening to people talk about A Course in Miracles and talking to people about A Course in Miracles. That was never in my plan. I don't even know what my plan. I was, thought I was going to retire and, putter in my garden. I haven't touched my garden in 2 years. So no, I haven't touched my garden since I fell and broke my shoulder how many years ago. So, so what I thought was my retirement plan, uh, the universe, whatever, had a different plan, and so can you. Stop planning and just start accepting. Ravi, yes, please go ahead.
If you want to have some fun with your mind and just play with it like it's a toy, uh, well, wait a minute, there's nothing but here and now. Okay. How big is now? How big is here? Don't answer the question. Just say, how big is here? And all of a sudden, the mind gets really quiet. How big is now? Mind gets really quiet. Doesn't have an answer for stuff like that. And if it doesn't have an answer, it gets quiet. The whole point of everything is to what? Quiet the mind,
Fine.
transcend it, and see the truth beyond it.
Very good. Excellent. How
I
big?
love that.
You got to laugh.
Absolutely. And really, that's the only way out, right? That's the key to all of it, is remembering that there's nothing really happening here. And there's no difference between having and being. And in the state of being, the mind gives everything always. Let's see. We got time for this paragraph? Yes. Who would like to read paragraph 6?
I would love to read this paragraph because I love it.
I love it too. Thank you.
It's a good one. The Bible repeatedly states that you should praise God. This hardly means that you should tell him how wonderful he is. He has no ego with which to accept such praise, and no perception with which to judge it. But unless you take your part in the creation, his joy is not complete because yours is incomplete. And this he does know. He knows it in his own being, and it's experience of his son's experience. The constant going out of his love is blocked when his channels are closed, and he is lonely when the minds he created do not communicate fully with him. Now, it says repeatedly in the course that he does not get lonely and that he is oneness itself, and how can what is everything get lonely when there's nothing missing? But it's a cute little sentiment and I like it, and I love the anthropomorphization. Okay, I'm not going to try that one again. you know what I mean, of God in this paragraph, that for one thing, God, everythingness of God is going to need the everythingness that we are part of to praise him. How silly is that? And that goes to what Dove was saying before about specialness. God wants to be special? Certainly not, because God is everything. What is the thing that would be praising God? Just a part of God, which would mean God would be a narcissist wanting to praise itself. It's all a bunch. I mean, this paragraph is really pretty silly when it comes down to it. But, but I love the sentiment of his joy is not complete because yours is incomplete. And if we're going to cut off any part of the sonship and say it's wrong, that's what's making us incomplete. And when we're judging other bodies, and we're reading right now, what is a body? And a body is just a fence. If we're judging other fenced off parts of the oneness, then we're incomplete. And so our joy is incomplete. And I am now complete. There you go.
Yes, yes, yes. And that makes me laugh so much. And Iris has her hand up. As you were saying this, I was thinking, yes, all the times that we're telling God how great he is. Oh, God, you are so great. Oh, you're so kind. But, our God is an awesome God. He reigns in heaven above. Like, just cracks me up. He doesn't need that kind of horse shit. Believe me, he doesn't care. And the idea that he's lonely when the minds he created do not communicate fully with him, it really just means that there's a block. And who's lonely? Who's the one who's really lonely? It's me. I'm the one who's feeling the loss. And if I'm feeling the loss, then at some aspect, God is feeling that loss. So that, it's not like God is oblivious to my heartfelt feelings of abandonment. Uh, you don't have to quote me on that. Anyway, I did see Iris had her hand up. Iris, did you want to say something?
Thank you, Lynn. I was going to say exactly what you shared. Like, that it's really true. Like, uh, and everything, like, there was a sentence that Lynn shared earlier, but I don't really remember 100%. But it's true that, like, everything here is like made up. It is made up, and like all of it is made up. Everything, like just literally everything. Like in lesson 50, like that it says that we think there are like these different laws and these other things, and like the whole thing is made up, and there is no truth in any of it, none. Like it does say that in the course somewhere, that the world is like this, it's like the opposite of, like, but it's like all made up by humans, quote. And I which is very interesting, because the other day I was speaking to my mom, and even my mom, she's like just quite amazing, because like she said something like in the past, quote, she was very religious, and very superstitious about stuff. But she said to me that all these religions are all made up by humans. And all these, and so is fear. She even said that. She said, fear is also made up by humans. And like it's all, everything's made up. And like, but somehow, uh, like we are questioning this and completely question it. Like, and uh, it's just so great that um, everything is made up and really like we weren't put here to do anything in particular, you know. And uh, it's just really great that um, just that's what Jesus probably meant. There's nothing to do. Like, I mean, it's just that we have to, there's only to be, just be what you are, be what we are. And nothing really has any quote special quote purpose to it. And uh it's very freeing, I think, from all the burdens that everyone seems to carry, you know. Like it's just very nice. I really appreciate it. It's very freeing. And I'll hand back to Lynn. Oh yeah, and the one last thing I wanted to say is that like there's that in that paragraph when it says, like, it reminded me of that sentence that says that a sense of separation from God is the only lack we need correct. And that is the sense of separation, that I am this human and I am this body and that's all I am, you know. That's really the essence of everything, I think. So I'll hand back to Lynn and thank you.
Thank you, Iris. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone, so much. And I love, Iris, everything is made up. Everything is made up. Remember last weekend I was saying, I'm, thinking about these chakras and, what is it? What are the spinning energies that are making
Okay, love. Thank
it's
you.
all made up. Everything is made up. And so, and Rafi says all that is in the illusion serves and it serves that which is illusion. Yeah. But it all can be translated into God's language, which is love. And love is really the only thing that truly is. So thanks you guys so much. Thank you, Iris and Rafi and Dove and Mickey and Bob and everyone who's joined us this morning. I'm so grateful for you all. And I'm going to the Chilean for Holy Festival today. So I'm gonna go eat some beans and chilies. Actually, it's a great festival. Yes, sir.
I want to give you a short call after this. We want to talk about the reading tomorrow.
Okay, sounds good.
All right.
All right. Love you.